everybody. Welcome to the Top Rated Seller webinar. We are so glad to have you here today. We want you to stay connected with us, and we'd like you to join our Facebook group. Jeff was just asking, how do I join the Facebook group? Just sign up, facebook.com/groups/TRS webinars. And I guarantee as soon as the webinar is over, Karen and I will get over there and approve all the members. We would love to have you join us. Our next webinar we were telling you about is going to be presented by Hugh Williams, the eBay VP of Experience, Search, and Platforms. You don't want to miss this one. That will be Wednesday, June 5th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 Pacific time. Coming up next is Sandy Garcia on Pinterest for social selling. You can find out more about all these upcoming webinars and sign up early at pagemage.com/top rated seller webinars. And they do fill up, so sign up early. Our connectors for the webinar series is me, Kat Simpson of thatcat.com, and Karen Locker of solutionsforecommerce.com. And now for our sponsors. We are sponsored by eBay Radio, where you'll find great interviews and information online twice a week to help eBay sellers be more successful. And Cabbage. You need money to grow your business? Cabbage can provide that funding to small businesses in just a few minutes. We are also sponsored by Outright. Outright has your small business finances all in one place. And Terapeak, because eBay sellers make more money with Terapeak. We have more sponsors. We have PageMage. PageMage's business is helping eBay sellers stand out and sell more items. And Stamps.com, postage on demand. Print your own stamps and shipping labels in seconds. And those are our sponsors that bring you these wonderful free webinars. We are happy to hand the microphone over to Janelle Elms of OSI Rockstars for the top 5 tips for profiting with multi-channel selling. There you go, Janelle.
Thank you so much, Kat, and thank you so much for Top Rated Sellers for having me back on. It was so exciting to get to do, I think it was one of your first ones, and so it's fun to be back and talking about such an important subject. We're going to talk today about multi-channel selling, and Kat, if you don't mind, I would love to find out from the group, how many of you guys are already selling on more than one platform? Usually more than eBay, because that's where most of us started.
That would be a great thing to type in the question or the chat box. We discovered that some of them have one, some of them have the other. Wow. I do 3. I do eBay and Etsy. I do 3. I do eBay and Etsy, eBay and Amazon. One person says no. Lots of 3s. Oh, this person sells on 5. Wow, Janelle.
There's a few 5s, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. That's awesome.
So as you can see, there's definitely a growing need for that. Somebody said to me the other day, I was kind of laughing, they're like, oh yeah, that's a good subject to start talking about. No, no, no. We should already be there at Rockstars that started a few years ago. We started quite a few years ago talking about multi-channel selling, so hopefully you're already there. For those of you who may not have met me yet, I'm Janelle Elms. I started on eBay back when they kind of just ask you your first name, and that was it. Since then, I had the honor of touring with eBay through eBay University, wrote a bunch of best-selling books, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm real excited because I get to run 2 amazing sites, OSI Rockstars, and many of you guys have met the Rockstars. They're just, gosh, they're just a great group of people, super success-minded, encouraging, very focused, very intentional. And then I also run Rockstar Basics, which is the light version of OSI Rockstars, I suspect. We'll say light version. It has a lot of the same great content on it. It just doesn't have as much interaction with me and the community, but it does have the content on there. So today we're going to talk about multi-channel. We're also going to talk about the 5 most important things I want you guys to focus on in multi-channel. It looks like a lot of you guys are starting to do this already. So some of this may just be great reminders for you. For the rest of you, this may just be a really good thing to jot down. So we're going to talk about the 5 things you can see there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. And we're going to give you success steps. Now, if you're a rock star, you already know that success steps is our positive spin on homework. But I hate taking classes where you take a class and you get all excited and then you kind of just forget about it throughout the day. We always assign success steps so that you always have action items to move forward with and take through your day. And of course, because I love Top Rated Sellers so much, we brought you a special offer. But you got to wait till the end for that. How? Is that good? Does that work, Kat?
That works wonderfully. Thank you.
So if I could possibly cover everything in an hour, I would have to talk even faster than I am now. And multi-channel selling really takes months and months and months to cover all the subjects within it. So we're going to go like 50,000 foot view up here, 50,000 mile foot view up here, because we've got to cover everything in an hour, but I promise I will stay and answer any questions you have. Is that fair? It's something really big at OSI Rockstars. We don't leave the class till all the questions are answered, so I want to offer that to you guys as well. But why multi-channel? Never put all your eggs in one basket unless they're chocolate eggs, and it's mine. And I suspect I'd have to fight Kat for some of those chocolate eggs.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Here's why. If you put all your eggs in one basket, let's say that you have them all in eBay, because that's where most of us started, right? Most of us got our training wheels from eBay. What happens when that particular platform either starts to be different, and we're experiencing different right now with Cassini, right? Starts to be different, and it's a little bit hard to adjust through that long-term change. Or what would happen if eBay closed their doors tomorrow?
A lot of people.
A lot of people are kind of freaking out about that. Yeah, so I'm not saying eBay's closing their doors tomorrow. I don't have any insider information that they're closing tomorrow, but you've got to really take a look at what this is doing, because a lot of people are staking their lives on eBay being successful. And you guys are hooking your wagon up to their star, and you're planning on them being successful. So being multi-channel allows you, if something were to happen to eBay, or if something were to happen to some other platform, now you have other forms of revenue still coming in. Good? Now, we're going to talk a lot today about not only other platforms, but how do you get up on Google. Doesn't mean that I don't like all the other search engines. It just means Google has the biggest presence as a search engine. And traffic from eBay to Google, can you guys guess what that percentage is?
Any guesses, folks? What percentage do you think that would be? Nobody wants to guess.
So you guys
there we go.
On top of stuff.
There we go. 2%, 75%, 60%, 25, 49, 50, 70. Oh, 1%. There you go.
Who is it? Homer's in the ballpark. So for every one search that's done on eBay, 4 to 5 are done on Google. So we want you to not just covet the customers that come to eBay. We want you to have customers all around the entire world who may not come to eBay to find your particular product. So I really get away from talking specifically about Cassini, because that change is going to be happening for a while as they try and figure things out with Cassini. I want you to understand how to use eBay and your other platforms to be globally searched. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So your roadmap is your very first thing that I want you to take a consideration for. You need to know where you're going and how to get there. At Rockstars, we actually have, and Rockstar Basics, we have an entire series that we do that plans out your roadmap. Very similar to a business plan, just a little bit more fun than a business plan. So does anybody know what this is?
My house? No.
I know, I'm checking out the statuary. That's probably Danny's statue right there. Oh, Luke says his dream home. This is actually the Winchester House down in California, and some of you guys might have visited and got it. Good job. Some of you guys might have visited this. It was built by Sarah, one of the legacies of the Winchester gun family, and she had unlimited amount of money, and she was supposedly cursed to constantly build, and so she would, for 38 years, so she would build doors, or have doors built, have stairways built that you can see went nowhere, doors that went nowhere. There's no purpose to this house at all, except dead ends. And so this is why you have a plan with purpose. Now, what I also see online sellers do is they start on eBay and then they go, ooh, sparkly things, and they see Bonanza. Now, I'm not saying Bonanza is bad. I'm just saying it's a sparkly thing if you don't have a plan. Etsy was a sparkly thing to a lot of people. But once you have a plan in place, now it actually becomes very intentional and you know where you're going. So we're going to talk a lot about that plan today, as well as the 4 Ps I want you guys to keep track of. You guys ready to write stuff down?
They better be. We told them to bring notes.
Oh, good. Yay. The 4 Ps of the roadmap to success. That's what's RMTS. Your purpose, your intention. What is your purpose for your business? Yeah, your purpose isn't to make money. I want to be really clear about that, because if your purpose is to make money, you could just go work at Walmart. You have a different purpose for your business than just making money. Let's hope that that's one of your intentions, please. But your purpose is something else. So either write that down if you already know it, or think about it this coming week. What is my purpose for having a business? Second, what is your product? Now, some of you guys are in the, I'll sell anything that makes me money phase. And that's awesome, because I was definitely in that phase. I sold golf clubs and I sold Hello Kitty tennis shoes. I still remember my garage full of those pink boxes. I sell everything that makes me money. And then some of you guys have gotten into niche products. Maybe your niche is just antiques. Maybe your niche is something super, super specific, like a certain type of glass. So what is your product? Barry's asking what RMTS is. Roadmap to Success. Great question. Okay, so what is your product? And you can be as vague as you want to, as specific as you want to. I suspect as your business grows, you start to be more specific. Good. Juan's selling electronics. Awesome. Joyce is saying Beanie Babies. I don't know about that. Some of them. Matthew's into multimedia. Cool. So what is your product? Next, you're going to figure out, ooh, somebody has travel trailer decals. Okay, I'm sidetracking. Next, you need to have a platform. Now, what is a platform? Is eBay a platform?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. eBay's a platform. Is having your own website a platform? Yeah, definitely. I know that a lot of you guys in multi-channel have that. Is selling on Craigslist a platform?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
going to have to mute myself, aren't I?
No, you're doing awesome. Yeah, so those are all platforms that you can sell on. I also consider, and this is just me personally, I also consider places that are search engines platforms, because they help you sell as well. So when I talk about them, they're kind of interchangeable for me, but they're not the physical platform you're putting your products on. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good, Serena. She says each platform might have a different purpose. Excellent. Ooh. Love this audience. Can I just take them with me today?
You can have some of them. We can have them back. Yeah.
Oh,
we'll
okay,
share.
Okay. And then the fourth P is people. People is huge, and I'm driving my rock stars crazy right now, because every time they bring something up, I'm like, who do you have working on that? Who do you have working on that? We talk about VAs a lot at Rockstars, virtual assistants. You aren't running a martyrdom. You are running a entrepreneur's business, not a martyrdom. You shouldn't be doing everything yourself. So software, a company, a person, something can get in there and automate this piece of it, because the only way you're going to grow to multi-channel is by putting in place these opportunities. Being a single person running multi-channel without any type of software, without any other help, I would say it's almost impossible. I'm sure you have people listening who's like, I'm doing it, but it's almost impossible. And it's not smart. It's not a smart way to run your business. We talk a lot about best practices at Rockstars. That's not a best practice. So people would be your fourth one. Okay?
Okay. We had two people already mentioning software as a necessity. So you've got a good audience.
Oh my gosh.
They're with you. They're with you on that.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's what it has to be. Very good. Now, that roadmap to success, all of the details for that, like I said, are over at Rockstars. For those of you who are Rockstars, I know you've already gone through that class. It's also over on Rockstar Basics for those of you who are members of Rockstar Basics. Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jill just asked if I have a blog. Yeah, no, I don't have time. No, my Rockstars have blogs, but I do not. So one of the big things that I want you guys to keep in mind is this kind of change that's happening with eBay right now. It's actually propelling a lot of people, and I think that's part of the reason why this class is so successful. It's propelling a lot of people into this kind of anxiety feeling. My sales are down on eBay, period. And I know that a lot of you are about to tell me that exact same thing. I have a client that has sold the same thing, brand new, does incredibly well, does close to 7 figures every year, does incredibly well across all of her channels, without question. eBay, since January, has been down 30% for her. She hasn't changed a thing, okay? So right now, this change is happening. A lot of people are getting really antsy because some of people's sales have gone up, which is kind of exciting. Some people's sales have gone down. And if that's your sole source of income, that would be kind of scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with this part of it, I also want you to understand that even if you have all your eggs in just one basket, which is eBay, let's take them out of the Cassini basket. Will you do that for me? And let's put them up on the Google basket, because if I can show you how you can be found if you just have all your eggs in eBay basket, at least now you have it in two basket, right? You have one in Google, one on eBay, and you're not just doubling your search. How much are you increasing your search? Let's see if they were listening. Pop quiz, right?
Pop quiz. They're agreeing with you about
Good.
what's going on. There's Christine.
4 to 5 times. You guys listen so well. I'm so proud of you. Excellent. So you can see Daly's reach. eBay is in the blue down at the bottom, and you can see Google at the top. And you can see a broken egg that if we have everything in Google and we're just concentrating on the traffic we had prior to all the changes happening, we could be really in a bad position with our business right now. Okay? All right, I don't want to freak anybody out, but now is the time to think multi-channel, and we're going to show you some really easy to follow steps to start moving into multi-channel. Before anybody panics on me, I'm not asking you to do this by tomorrow. So maybe by Friday, but definitely not by tomorrow. Good? All right. Oh, Deborah's saying I have a website and have learned the importance to Google. So excellent. Whatever you learn about Google can be applied to any site that you're on, which gets really exciting. So let's see if I can find my... Does anybody see where I want to go?
I see your email.
Like, oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, could somebody answer all my emails in there? So
no.
Let's, yeah, God, you guys are just so not helpful. So let's go through some of this right now. One of the things that I want to show you is some really good areas that if you do have all your eggs in one basket, some really good areas that you can change, totally shift the amount of traffic you're getting. Instead of relying on eBay, instead of relying on the platform, I want the platform to rely on you. Do you guys like that a little bit better? I don't want you working for eBay. I want eBay working for you. And anybody who's ever asked me that in an interview, oh, so you work for eBay? Nope. eBay works for me. PayPal works for me. Google works for me. YouTube works for me. They all work for me. So I really want you guys to have a mind shift about that. We do know that Google pays really close attention to your eBay store. Yay, how exciting are you? For those of you who don't have an eBay store, please, please, please immediately open an eBay store. Listen to Kat and Danny, who both have great information about eBay stores. Open your store. For those of you who have an eBay store, let's focus on some of the areas that Google is going to pay attention to. Deal? You guys want to know those secret areas? I'm guessing Bob does, because he just said his sales are down 20% year to date. So, ouch. Yeah. Bob, mine are down in the 30, 35. So I totally, and I on eBay. Now that we've shifted to Google, now not so much. Now people on Google are finding me. So there's a couple things that we know about eBay stores that will really help you. Oh, Jeremy's posting some great information about eBay stores. That's awesome. So eBay stores, we know that Google will go and find your store and put it up on their search if you have really good keywords in some certain areas. Do you guys know what keywords are? Rockstars aren't allowed to answer. Oh, Ronell just opened an eBay store 3 weeks ago. Nice job.
Okay.
So
they're going. They're trying.
They're trying. I see a few of the rock stars trying too. So what that is keywords are not just words. We talk about keywords all the time over at Rockstars. It's my favorite subject the Rockstars know besides SEO. Profitable keywords, speaking the language of the buyers. It doesn't matter what you want to call something. It only matters what the people with money want to call something. So if you want to call something a blazer and your buyers want to call it a jacket, you had better be calling it a jacket. So we talk a lot about not only learning what the vocabulary of the buyers with money are, but how to find those keywords. So we can't go into that detail right now. In fact, I think I talked about that on the last Top Rated Seller class.
I think so.
But I can tell you where to put those keywords today so that Google will pay attention to them. Good. So one of the things we know is your home page, your front page. Here's another one that we're going to be looking at, Twirl Planet. But your home page, we do know that Google pays attention to the keywords here. So if we scroll down here, you can see right here she's got BB blowout sale, make an offer. And all you have to do to check and make sure your keywords are getting picked up is, let's just copy and paste that right into Google. Google's page isn't available. Sad for Google. Okay, so I'm just copy and pasting some of those keywords in there, and it will tell me if Google has found that page or not. Right here, and we click on it, and it takes us back to that page. So is Google finding those keywords off of her homepage, picking them up, taking them back to search, and making a determination on what it is she's selling? Yeah, and there's a lot of really great profitable keywords about BB right there. So number one, what you put on your homepage. Now, Juan's asking a great question, basic, premium, or anchor for store. This part doesn't matter. This can be a basic, premium, or anchor at this point. It honestly doesn't matter because all three will be found in search. Yay. We also know down here you have things called promotion boxes. You have these two down here, and then let me show you Twirl Planet. You have these two right here. It's thinking I'm in Italy. You have these two right here. I wish. You have these two right here. So you have 4 promotion boxes on this page. Now, how many, Rockstars, you can't answer, how many promotion boxes do you actually have for an eBay store, whether it's basic or any other size? Do you guys know?
4 times thousands, 5, 1,200.
A million millions. That's so funny. Okay, it's not quite a million, but it's close. Here's what's really exciting is you have 4 places called promotion boxes, and they're there to do, no big surprise, promotions, right? But what's super exciting is when we were doing some SEO research over at Rockstars, we found out that whatever you put in the promotion boxes gets picked up by Google. So are those valuable, profitable keyword areas? Oh my goodness. Holy cow, yes. So the reason we know that, we can come down here and all we have to do is copy and paste any of their unique wording. Hopefully Google's now working. Now back in business. And we search, and lo and behold, right here we're finding a whole bunch of that wording throughout that site. So we know the promotion boxes are getting picked up. Here's where it gets really exciting. If you have 4 promotion boxes on this page, you actually have 4 promotion boxes for every single one of your categories. So that's 4 times 3 right there, 300, sorry, 4 times 300, so that's 1,200, depending upon how many categories you have. You could also put promotion boxes on your custom pages as well, and you have another 15 of those. So that's another, what, 60? So we're up to what, 1,260 areas for profitable keywords?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, isn't that crazy? So the depth of an eBay store to reach Google, if you set it up correctly, is kind of really crazy awesome. So another place, as we were talking about, and Jim and Kelly actually have one here as well, and I just have to show you because it's, oh, of course it's not on the one that I click. Jim and Kelly have done an adorable video called How We Measure Our Bags, and of course it features our favorite rockstar Jim. They're so cute. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is Google can't read videos. There's actually technology in place for them to learn how to do that, and we won't get into that, but it's not full-fledged yet. So one of the things to do if you're actually going to use videos, which I highly recommend, in any of your reachable areas for Google is to also include wording. So Jim and Kelly could put wording in here, even just replicate how Dream Adventures measures authentic designer handbags, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love Serena. She uses my words. Crazy awesome. That's like my word, Serena. Yay! Exactly. Good? All right. So searchable. It gets really exciting, and I love that the Rockstars figured out that they could put YouTube videos inside their promotion boxes. If you're going to do these beautiful promotion boxes with graphics, make sure they have keywords underneath of them. Your designer will be able to do that so that the spiders can come and pick them up. Okay? So right now we have a front page that is pick-upable. We have over 1,200 promotion boxes that have keywords that are pick-upable. That's a new word. And then we also have custom pages, and custom pages are a place where you can communicate with your buyers. So for the person that had the truck decals, how much fun would it be to have a whole page just of customer sent in photos of all the decals that are on the different cars and stuff like that. So you can do a custom page. Here we can see contact fire staff spinning dance, you know, because I love fire. How to measure for a twirling baton, all really good information, but we also know that Google gets into your custom pages. So they pick up your URL that has all those yummy keywords in it. And then if we were to put this into Google, it will actually pick up that page as well.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? So there's a ton of area just in your eBay store that you can optimize today without going, oh my gosh, all my eggs are in one basket, Janelle's freaking me out. You can easily divide your basket into Google immediately by just doing some of these techniques of getting your store up onto Google. Now, a lot of our rock stars are also top writers for the guides that are on eBay. Guides get picked up very, very well. Your About Me, My World page, or whatever they're calling it this week, gets picked up really well. But you really want your store to get picked up. So if you're struggling getting found in search as we go through this Cassini change, think about some of these areas that can propel you up onto Google. It gets really exciting once you can start getting traffic from Google, and almost all of our rock stars have turned their traffic upside down. It used to be eBay sending most of the traffic. Now most of them have it exactly opposite, Google sending them most of the traffic to their eBay business. Isn't that awesome?
Very awesome.
Adriana, and I hope I'm saying your name right, I'm sorry. So I am so excited. So excited. I love when people start using exclamation points when they realize what they can do to their eBay store. Don't tell eBay, but I don't think they charge us enough for their eBay stores because they're so, I know, it's really bad. They're so incredibly powerful once you know how to use them. And at Rockstars, we actually teach you super in-depth secret Rockstar techniques on how to optimize they're all legal, how to optimize your eBay store to get found in search. So yeah. Oh, Serena says, don't say that.
Don't say that. Don't say that in the wrong circles. We can say it among ourselves. It's okay.
Right. I actually, yeah. Shh. But there's some really exciting things. eBay actually set up eBay stores correctly in the sense that they are fully optimized for Google if you know how to use them. Another really great area, and you'll see how fabulous the categories are on the Rockstars websites, which we call the eBay stores. We also know that Google picks up your categories as well. So very nice. Okay? Good. So does that help you guys a little bit if your eggs are all in one basket? You can take some of these same techniques and move them to other places. Etsy has really powerful SEO techniques. Your website's going to have very similar techniques. Good? Everybody's telling me to be quiet. Okay, I'm assuming about eBay. So
they do not want you to stop talking. And Jeff said you couldn't leave until you spilled all your secrets. But I told him we'd be here for weeks if you did that. So yeah.
Well, yeah, at Rockstars we have over 1,000 hours of training. So how much is 1,000 hours, Kat, in like real time?
I don't know, because your hours are actually an hour and a half. So I would say that's 1,500 right there. Yeah.
All right, so we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. So even those of you who have multi-channel, you may want to go back and really pay attention to how much are you using eBay. You know, back to that sparkly thing, I see a lot of people doing eBay like 50% and then they're on to the next sparkly thing. Amazon FBA I know is a big sparkly thing for a lot of people. Before you fully optimize and take advantage of all of the opportunities that are on one site. So at least get closer to 80% before you jump ship and go add another multi-channel. I don't want you to run yourself ragged running 3 or 4 or 5 multi-channels that are all running at only an optimum of 40 to 50%. Isn't that scary? Are you laughing, Kat? Because some of mine are that way.
I'm laughing at mine are that way.
Oh, okay. But we're working on it, definitely.
Yes, yes.
I love Joyce's statement. eBay is a catalyst for all online selling for starting and growing a business. It's such great training ground for so many things because we don't realize it if we've never sold online before, but eBay does a lot of work for us. A lot of work, definitely. Well, number 3 we want to talk about is international sales. How many of you guys are not yet selling international?
I'm watching.
Okay. Oh, good. Ronell's in transition. Ooh, Chris just started. Everybody's saying, I do.
And some just Canada, so that's a good start.
Hey, we'll take anything outside the United States at this point.
Yeah.
Again, that whole limiting of your audience gets really super scary, you guys. Just so you know. Like I said before, that future of the online selling is not a future. it has already begun. It is already happening, and you need to understand what global marketplaces look like. Don't ever, please don't ever let fear take over your success. Fear is just lack of information. That's all fear is. Figure out how to find that information and move forward. There's answers for everything, because a lot of us are doing phenomenal traffic internationally, phenomenal. So don't just limit your customers to, I will only sell to people here in the United States, and I only sell them if they come to eBay and search for my products. Let's go global. Yeah, let's go to Italy like my computer thinks I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a report, literally just came out a couple weeks ago, that talks about all sorts of trends happening, and one of the big ones, of course, no big surprise, is mobile, so very important. But another piece of this is, by 2016, the Asia-Pacific region share is likely to increase further, while the Northern American and Western Europe shares of the world are expected to steadily erode. I don't want you guys to miss this. This is a brand new report. This isn't old information. This is trends that they're seeing happening online.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you not selling international, I want you to really stop for a second, and even maybe today, for those of you not selling, write down why. Because once you start writing down the, gosh, I'm worried about this, I'm scared about this, I don't know about this, once you start writing it down, now go find your answers. Because I'm telling you, if you only continue to sell to the United States market, you're going to be overrun. It's going to become saturated. For many of you, it's already saturated.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job. Danny says international sales are over 40% of her sales. Can you imagine increasing your business by 40%? Oh, good. Marjorie says, I never had an international return or complaints. Good. And some of those, I'm going to call them excuses, not to offend anybody, but some of your excuses for not selling and shipping international aren't valid. They're actual reasons. They're not going to help you grow your business. So if you're just going to tell me why you're not doing it, my rock stars know I don't listen very well when you tell me why you can't do something. I want you to say, here's my concern, and now I'm going to go figure out how to fix that, because there's the rest of us are selling international like crazy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Kimberly says, I've been selling international for years now. Nice job. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to sell to everybody in the entire world. So people are bringing up all these odd countries. Do you sell to this? Do you sell? No, it doesn't mean you have to sell to everybody in the world, but at least go after more than the United States, okay? Please. All right, so the next part is platforms. Now, we had people anywhere from one, so eBay as a platform, all the way to, I think we saw the top one, 5 or 6 platforms, which is amazingly awesome, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys and no guessing, Kat. I'm going to show you guys a quote, and I want you to tell me who you think wrote it. You guys ready? You didn't know there'd be so many quizzes today, did you? It's not purely for consumers. We can create new demand through the internet, which should help the local, regional, small to medium-sized shops. Wow, somebody who's interested in helping us.
I don't see any guesses. Come on, guys. Who wrote this? Who said this?
I think they're still reading.
Okay.
So I will give you a hint, Luke. You're so genius. Does that help? Oh, Luke used Google. Oh, does that help any? You guys should know who this man is if you sell online. That is my big hint right there. If you don't know who this man is, you are about to learn a lot about him really quick. So this is Hiroshi Mikitani. People know him as Mickey. I'm so excited because a bunch of us rock stars get to hear him at IRCE.
Yay.
I wonder if anybody else is going. Yeah, I seriously am so excited. He could write dozens of books on business, and I would read and devour every single one. This guy is a genius. So when you're talking about platforms, you need to choose a platform that matches up to who you are. Remember how I said that you have to be really careful about hooking up your business to other platforms? Yeah, so when you're picking platforms, you've got to be really, really careful, because if you're just choosing any new platform that comes along, you're going to drive yourself crazy. There's going to be a lot of frustration. Businesses are going to go out of business and leave you stranded without platforms. You've got to be really careful about who you hook up with. You've got to know the people behind it. My rockstars know I read constantly, so I'm constantly reading about the management teams of eBay, management teams of Amazon. This happens to be the head honcho of Rakuten, who now owns Buy.com. Rakuten also owns, I swear, everything else in the world at this point. If you are paying attention to the headlines, he has been quietly buying up all of these secondary marketplaces.
Mm-hmm.
And is poised to take over the world. Plus, if you read about him, he is absolutely amazing in his vision. His company is in Japan, and just a few years ago, he went to his company and said, all of you guys will learn to speak English or you'll be fired.
Wow.
He understands going global. So how many of you guys have it on your roadmap? I need to learn Japanese because I'm going to be selling to a Japanese country. Like, he's like, nope, we're going global. We need to know English because a lot of the world is English speaking. You must speak English. And everybody panicked.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have this ability to go out and have communications with other people that they weren't able to have communications with because of a language barrier. Mickey has really forward-thinking ideas. He's very much a new Japanese as opposed to the old world Japanese style. He says Amazon's focus is on making customers happy, which I would agree with a million times over. He says Rakuten wants to make merchants happy. He knows that if he makes the merchants happy, they'll sell well. And if you sell well, guess who else is happy?
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy Aiello, who does accounting for some of the big wigs on the internet who do online selling, she says Rakuten has gotten very big for several of her clients. So when we're talking about platforms, and this is not a pitch for Buy.com because I'm going to show you in a second Buy.com's traffic isn't completely there yet, but I'm trying to get you guys in the mindset that as you're picking platforms, be really careful about picking platforms because you're hooking your whole business up to whoever's running it. If they're going to run something into the ground, guess what happens to your business? We saw this with, what is that antique place? The one that Kathy was at, not you,
Ruby
Kat, but
Lane.
was it Ruby Lane or Tias or one of those?
Yeah.
Completely ran their business into the ground because they never grew with SEO. People's sites couldn't even be found in Google because of how they had set it up. So you've got to understand these dynamics. Don't just throw your business up to the next best platform. Make sure that that platform understands your business. Make sure that that platform is going where you are going. You know, it's interesting because Heidi Messer from Linkshare, some of you guys might have heard her name in the news, was up for sale. Not Heidi. Linkshare was up for sale. Not Heidi, no. And it was interesting because Linkshare had a ton of offers coming in, and even though it wasn't the highest one, Mickey Tana's offer was on the table, and she said, we were extremely interested in someone who was in it to win it. I got the sense he was on an aggressive timeline, and guess who got Linkshare? So understand a lot of people are paying very close attention to him right now because of how he is running his multiple businesses. Good? Okay, so again, I'm not pitching Buy.com. I'm trying to get you guys to understand your platforms are so important to your business. I would hope if you moved into a brick and mortar area that you would check out the management running your strip mall or whatever. Very important to understand their direction has to be your direction and vice versa. Okay?
They're quiet. I think they're devouring it. They're thinking it all over.
They're writing down Hiroshi Mikitani. He just needs to come out with like a book already. His first two are in Japanese, and I sadly don't know. I know like 6 words in Japanese.
6 more than I know.
Yeah. So let's talk about platforms. Again, good. Homer just got approval to sell on Rakuten. Woo,
good job.
nice
Congratulations.
Job. That gets so exciting. So Serena says, great point, Janelle. Never really put much thought into this. Yikes. But you are now. So you're taking this class now, which speaks volumes to what you think about your business. Also be really careful about understanding SEO. my favorite company right now is Etsy, not because they have the highest amount of traffic and not just because I have mermaid caramels there and they do really well for me, but because Etsy understands SEO probably better than any other site out there. The amount of money that they are putting into making sure that your products are found on Google is phenomenal. They just went through a huge restructuring. You've got to understand more about the platforms that you're on rather than just the surface information of Rose was bringing up eCrater or Bonanza or any of those others. You've got to go in there and really research apples to apples. Do these have the tools that is going to take my business where my roadmap says I want to go? Okay, so these are comparisons, just a little bit to show you guys. You can see time on site, eBay, no big surprise, right? Etsy, I'm surprised Etsy's not even a little bit higher if any of you guys have been on Etsy, right? Amazon's red, and then down here, buy.com. And interestingly enough, the daily traffic, though, is completely different. So we kind of understand time on the site. eBay and Etsy are definitely time-sucking areas. Daily traffic, though, switches. Do you see how much more traffic Amazon has all the way up here on the top? Then eBay, then Etsy, and then we see buy.com at the bottom. So buy.com is very fast growing. Remember, Rakuten just bought them. So I can't even show you some of the facts and figures I'm about to because of the switch has kind of thrown them off of Google. Okay? All right. And Debbie, we're going to get to Etsy here in just a second. Deborah says, my products on Etsy are vintage. They sell better there than on eBay. I agree. Nice job. Okay? So it's really funny. I'm just going to kind of throw this out there, new pop quiz. Where do you guys think on time on site that Pinterest falls into here? I know, kind of interesting, huh? Theory says above all. Everybody says way at the top. So time on site, I was going to guess, if I had to, that it would be like up here, right? Yeah, no, interestingly enough, it's almost identical to Amazon. It's down here. Isn't that crazy? They must not be checking out how much time I spend on Pinterest. That's all I have to say. Daily traffic for Pinterest, where do you think that is? Ah, good, good. It's actually right here. It's like right in between Etsy and eBay. So it's right here. So I do know that Sandy's coming on soon, right, Kat? In the next couple ones,
yes,
to do a great presentation on Pinterest, and so she'll get you guys all set up on that. Good. All right. Pay-per-click ad spend. This is how much money that these sites are spending that you don't have to. This is how much money they're spending to get your products up on search. Is this important to know?
Very.
Isn't this kind of crazy awesome? So I love, my rockstars know I'm a big numbers person. I'm constantly comparing numbers, looking at trends, looking at things. This is very important to understand. This is only one piece of the puzzle, but it's an important one. Etsy, and that used to be nothing. So considering they're a smaller site in the scheme of things, that's a lot of money for a site like Etsy. Isn't that amazing? eBay, and it kind of fluctuates, 30 to 74,000 depending upon time periods. No big surprise. Q3, Q4, a little bit different. Look what Amazon's doing for us.
Wow.
Yeah. Barry's asking, the slide's fascinating, what's the source for that? That's one of my secret tools. I can't. That's a Janelle secret tool. But yeah, do you see, it's not even like a small jump. It's not like 30 to 70 and like 70 to 100. We're talking $220,000 every day being spent on Amazon. A day.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, so this slide should kind of psych you up that being on multi-channels and what they can and can't do for you doesn't mean that Etsy's bad. It just means you need a totality. You need to look at the complete package of what these companies can offer you and what are they doing. Now, interestingly enough, eBay has been throwing some fits lately about their pay-per-click ad spend. they and Google are just like those two kids at school that never get along and constantly fight, or maybe they're like brother and sister. I don't know, whatever analogy works for you. And so eBay just threw a tantrum and said, we don't see any point actually of spending any money on Google Merchant, whereas Etsy's like, Google Merchant, let's go. And now eBay's back in the Google Merchant game after they threw such a fit about it. It's kind of funny. eBay won't spend money unless it brings more ROI, so I wonder what happened. So, so again, constantly being in this information is really important because, again, your business is directly tied to this number. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's crazy amount of money.
Yeah. Oh, Adrienne is wanting to know she should go to IRC. Come with us. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually want to take you, let me go back one slide really quick. I actually want to take you back to platforms really quick, if you guys don't mind.
We're along for the ride, so we're good.
Okay. You just tell me when to shut up.
Never.
So we were talking about, who asked the question about Etsy? A couple of people are selling at Etsy and saying that Etsy was doing better for them than anything else. I'm sure they'll pipe up. I apologize just because we're getting so many comments and I'm not keeping track of all of them. But you've got to understand how your platform is working in conjunction with Google. It's incredibly important. This happens to be another one of our Rockstars business. Kelly says everything that she puts up on Etsy she sells. So these are the two things she has, and I'm sure she'll be adding more to it here soon. A lot of the Rockstars are starting to sell on Etsy. I want you guys to listen really carefully as to why. There's two reasons. One, with the recent eBay fee and seller changes, anything that goes over, anything under the $75 to $80 mark, and I'm speaking in general terms because there's actually 4 columns that this all goes into, but around the $75 to $80 mark, instead of your fees being lower, they actually flip higher. That's your tipping point on eBay, is the 75 to 80. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to say stop selling on eBay if your items are that expensive. I love more expensive things. I love higher price points. I think it gets really exciting at that point. But I am telling you, your fees go up. So what a lot of our rock stars are doing is opening shops on Etsy with their vintage items, because Etsy has a vintage section, and duplicating their listings over on Etsy with their products, because the fees on Etsy are lower than they are on eBay. So if Kelly sells this particular set, these aren't super high priced ones, if she sells this particular set, her fees are pretty low on Etsy. So that's number one, is some of those higher priced items, okay? Number 2 is Etsy pays for you to be in Google Merchant. Do you guys know what Google Merchant is? Yeah, so it used to be Google Shopping, and it was a free feed. Remember all that headache we used to have of trying to get our eBay store feeds into Google? And then they stopped us and said, no, you can't do it anymore. We have to do it. And then they only sent certain ones, and it was, yeah, a big nightmare. So Google recently changed it again. Let me go back to Google. Google recently changed it again, where you have to pay to be included in this. Now, you can't pay if you're on eBay, you can't pay if you're on Amazon, and you can't pay if you're on Etsy. However, do you know if your 3 platforms pay to be on there? Is that kind of important to know if you're going to show up in Google search under the shopping section? Christine says you should. I agree with Christine. So really quick, we can do a check. You can either type in your whole title, or I'm just going to type in what the product is, what would actually show up. Okay, do you see Kelly's Johnson Brother cups there? Yeah, right there, right? So is Etsy paying for her products to be up on Google? Yeah. Does Kelly get that promotion for free? I want to be really careful about saying this because you guys need to understand how powerful this is. If somebody is willing to spend $220,000 a day advertising for your business, is that important to know? Is the fact that Etsy is willing to pay to get those 4 cups up there for Kelly important for Kelly to know? Yeah, Barry says Sears and Rakuten, he knows, pay for Google Shopping. eBay pays for some of it's on there now after they've done throwing their fit. Amazon pays for their replacements. Okay. And that, Debbie, Google Checkout is completely different than Google Shopping. Google Shopping is literally sponsored ads that you can go shopping on. Okay, so Etsy, even though a lot of people think it's a little tiny website, it's very fast growing, and they are pouring tons of money into these small businesses that are going up on Etsy. eBay is reluctantly paying for that. Amazon pays for that. So you've got to understand who is paying for your particular platforms and what are they doing. Kathy says, what do you mean about eBay throwing a fit? I've heard there's some controversy a while back. Oh, just type in eBay and Google, and it's a long-running feud. Long-running. So some platforms, obviously eBay, which a lot of you guys are on, Amazon, 2 different levels, merchant fulfilled, and FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. If any of you guys create your own products, there's actually a 3rd level that we rarely talk about, but it's called a vendor level. Rakuten, which used to be buy.com. Etsy, which we just talked about. Your own website. I don't know what happened to all my links today, but your own website. BigCommerce is just one of the many ones out there. There's a lot of multi-channel opportunities to sell in out there. I'm not saying this is the end-all to end-all, okay? And I'm sure you guys may be on other ones as well. eCreator, Bonanza, there's a few others out there. You guys may be on a different website opportunity out there. You may be on Sears, you may be on Overstock, okay? These are just some of the platforms. How you doing, Kat? She's muted. Number 5, we're going to talk really quick about people and tools. Now, in order for your roadmap to all come together once you figured out the first 4, you need to put in place people. Hi, Kat. You need to put in place people and tools. Psych, I called on you. Surprise! There are many, many tools out there, and we would have to have so many multiple classes about the tools out there that it's not even funny. But just like platforms, are you guys listening? Just like platforms, you've got to be really careful about your tools. Tools aren't meant to be one size fits all. I want to be really clear about that. Number 2, no tool is going to be perfect for what you need it to be. It would be impossible. And 3, I need to explain what multi-channel tools are. And for the people who make multi-channel tools, oh my gosh, my prayers go out to you. I don't know how you make those tools. So I want you guys to think about how hard it is to make a multi-channel tool. Jake's grinning at me. I want you to understand that eBay has a language that it's coded in, and I'm going to make this super, super simple. And then they send out that language to the developers that says you can now use this language to create your multi-channel listing tool. And they go, okay, great, eBay language, okay, now you can list on eBay through Vendio or whatever. And then Amazon says, well, we have a language. In fact, we have a couple different languages. We're going to send that information through what's called the API to our developers. And so Vendio gets it, and they say, okay, eBay's language and Amazon's language is different. So now we're going to have to code totally different pieces on top of eBay, and then on the back end we have to make eBay and Amazon talk with our software. Oh boy, okay, so now they've got at least 3 languages, possibly a 4th language going on their one tool. Then Etsy gets in the game, and then BigCommerce gets in the game, and they're having to recode all these pathways because everybody talks a little bit different language in their API. It simply means how the developers get the information from eBay and Amazon and Etsy and BigCommerce and eCreator and all these other sites. They are language translators at the highest level, and I am in awe anytime a multi-channel tool, 1, exists, and 2, works. Because Amen. I know what goes on behind the scenes. That would drive me crazy how much work they have to do. So when
yeah, I mean, it's not just all that work they do. On top of that, it's every time somebody changes something, they have to redo it. So that's pretty amazing, right?
Right. Can you imagine every time eBay makes changes, it freaks us out? Can you imagine the poor developers?
Oh, well, listen, I just wanted to barge in a minute because we're at 1 o'clock, and I know some of the viewers may have to leave, but Janelle has been generous enough to offer to stay and finish the whole presentation and your Q&A. So we'd love
Yep.
to have you stay with us, but just in case you have to go, you've scheduled an hour and you have to go, we want to let you know we understand, and there will be a recording of the whole thing put up within 24 hours on our YouTube channel. So please stay, but if you can't, we understand.
And I'm actually at 55 minutes, so I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. we don't
Yes.
we
So
don't we don't care how long you want to talk. You just keep going. We just wanted to give them
okay.
permission if they had to leave.
Awesome. Well, I've got 5 more minutes of the presentation, and then I'll stay and answer questions. I have a client at 3, so you'll stay and answer questions until then. Good? All right.
Good.
So people and tools, you've got to, again, just like you look at your platforms, you've got to look at the tools from this perspective. Yeah, you don't need to know what an API is. Let the developers do all of that stuff. All you need to do is go into a tool. Almost all of them have free trials, so take them up on their free trials and see if it makes sense with your business personality. All of you guys have different personalities. The tools I'm about to show you may fit, they may not. It really doesn't matter one way or the other. It's just finding what works for you.
Mhm.
Companies like Amazon code their own software. They don't wait around for something to come out of the box. We, as online sellers, tend to not have that luxury. So good. So
Mhm.
one of the things I want you to think about is hiring a VA to do some of this. I'm not going to teach about VAs. I'm going to let Brad do that. He does a great job of that. This is his book that came out about VAs. Really love the book. Um, I have VAs do so much stuff in my business. People always laugh at me. Where was I going, Kat?
We were going with processes.
No. Where was I going on a trip? What was my last trip?
You went to
Vegas.
Vegas. Yep.
I went to Vegas to a trade show to do some work down there, and it was the night before, and I was packing and getting stuff wrapped up for the rock stars and redoing everything for a week, and I, I breathed a little bit and decided to put up a new business.
Oh, yes, now I
And
remember.
yes, and the only way I can do that is when business ideas come into my head is I tap into all of my VAs I have. And so I went to my logo VA and I said, hey, I need a logo for this. I went to my website creator VA. Hey, I need this website put up. Here's this, here's this. Pretty much the only work that I really did was I bought the domain and sent them the hosting information. Everything else was done by VAs. So people always say, how in the world can you get so much stuff done? I don't. I just manage a bunch of people who do that work for me. So Brad is definitely the expert for that. So as you are looking at growing a multi-channel business, you've got to have software company people in there to help you. There's a couple tools out there that are just really great coming to the top as far as multi-channel opportunities for you to put things together. This happens to be Stitch, so stitching things together. Jake and I have been talking. I think we're going to hook up at IRCE and delve into this more, but some of my rock stars have been testing this out. I see you picked that up from Tarabic. Some of my rock stars have been testing this out and are really impressed with it. But again, I don't want you guys to just go, oh, I'm going to go to Stitch Labs because Janelle says so or because our rock stars are having success with it. I want you to make sure that Stitch Labs makes sense for your business because Stitch Labs doesn't make sense for all my rock stars. It's not good or bad, and Jake totally, who runs it, totally understands. They made Stitch Labs. They fulfilled a niche. You can see all the integrations that they do here. I know that they have more coming, and they fit a certain type of customer. So do they fit you? I don't know. You'll have to find out. But again, Stitch Labs, like any other good business out there, has an opportunity to try it out for free. I'm not hearing anything bad about Stitch Labs at all. And you guys, those of you who know me well enough to know I would tell you if I heard anything bad. Okay? All right. So check them out. So it's just stitchlabs.com. If your business is big, we're talking lots of products, lots of SKUs, depth of inventory, multi-channels, and you need a more powerful tool. Solid Commerce is what a lot of the biggest sellers I have at Rockstars, a lot of them use Solid Commerce. Really powerful tool, going to be a huge learning curve. Very similar to Channel Advisor in that aspect, but really love Solid Commerce. Love the guys behind it. Again, you've got to look at the people running these companies and make sure that they are as excited as you are about your business. That's one of the reasons I love Cabbage. They're so excited about your business. PageMage, so excited about your business. Other companies, not so much, right? Solid Commerce just loves talking to entrepreneurs. Seller Engine has some really powerful tools out there. These guys will just talk your ear off. They love hearing from entrepreneurs, and they run a lot of entrepreneur contests, and their blog just has a wealth of information. And then Channel Advisor, been around for quite a while, run by Scott Wingo, and a lot of the bigger sellers are on that. Now, this isn't the only companies out there that run multi-channel. There are tons and tons of multi-channel tools. These are just some that I wanted you to start looking at, to start thinking about, does this fit into my business? I don't know. Like I said before, it depends upon your business and the specifics of your business. Okay? Yeah, and some of you guys have experience with these that are good and bad, and that's totally fine. If it worked for you, great. If it didn't work for you, possibly there's something out there that will work better for you. But there is no way you can move into multi-channel without a person, a company, or a tool like this to grow your business.
Janelle, somebody earlier posted that they had done multi-channel by themselves for a year, and now they finally had some software in place and they were able to sleep. So,
oh, the poor thing. Oh.
So I think that that's pretty good testimonial for, yeah, you could do it if you don't mind not sleeping for 6 months or so. Yeah.
So Barry says, what was the one you showed before Channel Advisor? SellerEngine.com. Seller Engine, we love them because they have Profit Bandit, which many of us use for our FBA business, but they have some powerful multi-channel tools as well. Okay, and I see a bunch of people are posting the tools that they use, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Again, I think we could teach for 3 weeks just on the tools that are out there.
Yes.
The point is, I want you guys to not just go with the tool that your friend used, or go with the tool that's pitched really hard on Facebook, or go with the tool that always seems to have the money to throw around at the conferences you go to. Make sure that that tool works for you. That I can't stress that enough, because if it doesn't work for you, if it's not something you can grow into, you're going to get really frustrated. Okay,
Amen. Great
point, Eric. Eric says stamps.com works great for multi-channel shipping. Exactly. All these additional tools that are really, really, thank you for saying that, Eric. I would be lost without stamps.com. I just shipped via stamps, I just shipped international through Etsy, regular eBay, and regular Amazon today. Yay! I didn't have to go through a bunch of other tools to get how easy it was to just shoot those 3 out. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Luke says, thanks for sharing stamps.com. Yeah, love stamps.com. Personal, Amen. Again, it has to work for you. So check that out. Okay?